know it is the morning, or here in Argentina it's the morning. We will present Doctora Bárbara Ruiz-Bejarano. She has a PhD in Arab and Islamic Studies, is the director of the Halal school, ESCUELA Halal. In recent years, she has participated in numerous seminars and events on Islamic economics, in particular food and tourism markets, including the WAF Daha Roundtable, Bangladesh, Ankara, World Halal Summit in Istanbul, Korea Halal Summit in Seoul, and Halal Assembly of Thailand, Bangkok. We know that it's more extensive, the experience of Doctora Bárbara, so we will learn today from her, and the floor is yours. Thank you.
Gracias, Amal. Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Okay, we'll shift to English. I was going to continue in Spanish for a moment. Right, thank you so much for the opportunity, and I'm glad to see there are so many ladies who want to get involved into making visible the role of women in the global halal industry. I'll be brief because my two previous colleagues have explained a lot. There's something I share with Aisha, and it's that I am also a Muslim revert. And I have the same experience at the beginning. It was very hard. There was rejection from some some members of the family, some friends. It was difficult, and also in the Muslim community, they were always unsure, because we are European, we are culturally European, so there's always things that you do in a different way, and ideas that you have that are very different, because in our experience, the bulk of Muslims in Europe come from migration, so they come, of course, people when we travel, when we move, we travel with our own culture, with our own set of ideas. And of course, European women, particularly us, we come from a generation where women had already acquired some rights, and we already had a small space in society. It's probably the generation previous to us did most of the work. Now, and I have to say, in my case, I faced very little difficulties because I have always been very empowered myself. I never thought that the fact that being a woman would stop me, in my career. So I think we were lucky in a sense that there were already laws in place and customs in place, and that women had already a place in society and in economy. It's true we haven't reached our full potential. It's true when you look at, for example, the biggest companies in the country, most of the CEOs, most of the boards are still very masculine, but it's a step by step. We are getting there. I mean, the good news for Generation M, for the young Muslim ladies, is that they have already this path cleared somehow. It's like, I don't believe now a young lady in so many Muslim countries will declare her intention of going or attending university, and she will be rejected by the family or friends. I think this is a conquest we already have. In many countries, probably there are still some that need, to make this road. But I think in so many ways, women in Muslim countries have come a long way from the two previous generations. So this is something positive. There's been an evolution in the positive way. So this is something, an achievement we have to be glad about. Then I wanted to comment something about the Islamic market, specifically about the size. People keep commenting about the $3 trillion market. I don't think it's $3 trillion at all. No, $3 trillion is 3.5% of the world's wealth, and Muslims are about 24%. So naturally, the halal market is much bigger. If 24% of the world population are already consuming halal food, we got this number wrong. So it's true, a lot of the production is not in Muslim hands, but still halal product. So we need to, revisit this figure. I don't think it's quite correct. I think the market is much bigger. It's just that we have not considered taking control yet of the whole, production chain, especially in the food and beverage market. But it's coming as well. I think there are more and more ladies who are entrepreneurs. And I think that they are not only driving consumption, but also leading in the creation of new products. So I think they are already a lot of inspiring ladies in the market. They just need perhaps to become more visible, And the challenges of halal is for ladies, I think, is that, as Aisha mentioned, we need to have a very strong education and background. Having the knowledge is crucial for advancing. I don't mean only professional knowledge. We need the soft skills. We need the languages. We need the global vision. We need the cross-cultural education. We need lots of, lateral other things that we need to build our own set of skills to be able to move along the ladder professionally. And I also agree with Aisha, the labeling is very important. I mean, all these labels, women, Muslim, Asian, European, come on, we are people. After all, we're talking about halal, and this is for humanity. So we shouldn't label so much. I think we make this mistake ourselves without being conscious of, we're not aware. We are so used to labeling things. But, in the UK, the strategy for integrating the Muslim population was precisely to delabel. And then when the Muslim community did something, it was never advertised as Islamic. I mean, if they were organizing a cultural event about, I don't know, cinema or exhibition, art exhibition, it was not labeled. And then this not labeling avoided this barrier because there are prejudices against Islam and against women, so the labeling is a good strategy. I think we should be getting together as women, but not using the label, It's not for our advantage or our disadvantage. I think we should, put our credentials before us as people, as persons. I think this is very important. And well, I wanted to share a project that we are developing in the Halal Academy, if I may share the screen. I don't want to be long because I know there are other ladies who are going to share their experiences. So let me just project this if I can. Yes. Right, so professionally, I started working. Yes.
No, está bien. Quería ver de que hayas maximizado la pantalla de presentación, pero ahora vi que lo hiciste. Perfecto.
Sí, está bien. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to share with you our latest projects, just to I don't know, just to show how we are faring. I don't want to focus much on my personal career because I think it's the work we do that shows, how many opportunities we are opening for other people. So I just wanted to share with you two of the latest projects we are developing at the Halal Academy. The Halal Academy depends on Instituto Halal, that was set about 30 years ago. It's also one of the pioneering Halal certification bodies in Europe. And the Halal Academy is the training and consultancy organization of which I am the director. And I'm very happy to say that my team is very equal. My team has 2 ladies and 2 men. So we're all in for equality. And of course, a lot of the people we work with are also women. So I wanted to show you these 2 projects very, very briefly, because I think they are going to have a very positive impact. So these 2 projects are to develop the Muslim-friendly tourism ecosystem in Spain and Portugal, which, as you know, was the former Al-Andalus territory. So at the moment, we have some specialized agencies like Ilim Tour that do Muslim-friendly tourism in Spain. And I think the fact that we have already some products, like halal tourism or Muslim-friendly tourism is something positive, but I think Spain has much, much more to offer. So we have some tourists already coming to do halal holidays in Spain, but we need to train the tourism sector even more. So we started developing these two projects. And what we have, or the main, the main attraction in Spain for Muslim travelers is the fact that we were a Muslim country for more than 800 years. So we have some World Heritage sites that are important. For example, Aragon. I don't know why some people think only Granada was the Muslim Spain, but almost all of the peninsula, including the Balearic Islands, all of the peninsula was Muslim territory. So we have a lot of heritage in the north as well, and in the center, but a lot of Muslims, they only come to the south. So we're now working to change this perception that only Granada and Cordoba have been like part of the caliphate. Actually, there's been many other places that were part of this territory. So basically what we are developing is a series of mentoring sessions with actors, young actors. Many of these actors are young women. Some are Muslim because they find this affinity that they would like to work with other Muslims as customers, and they would like to engage, right? So we are kind of developing new products and services, right? For example, the routes already set up by El Legado Andalusí. We are trying to connect them. I'm sorry, the slides, some are in Spanish. We're trying to connect them with products such as Umrah Plus. We have an MOU with Majelis Ulama Indonesia to connect Umrah Plus products with these destinations we are creating in Spain. So basically what we are doing is to develop a new product called educational tourism based on Andalusian characters. And as you know, Spain was the home of Ibn Arabi, one of the most influential philosophers in the Muslim world. He was born in Spain, he was trained in Spain, he was born in Murcia, and he then traveled to Cordoba, to Marchena, and to Seville. So we would like to recreate his own trip on the ground, you know, the places he visited, the mosque where he prayed, is still extant. Now it's integrated in a church. But this is also part of our history. So we need to understand the influence of Islam in Spain and vice versa in the Christian world. So we need to understand all these characters. What was their contribution, not only to the Muslim world, but also to the Christian world, because they were together, you know, they were not separate. I mean, Al-Andalus was not only Muslim, it was also Christian and Jew. So we have a good proof that coexistence is possible. So what we want to do in these trips with these characters, with Ibn Hazm, with Ziryab, with Ibn Rushd, we want to share their experience of living in this special world that was Al-Andalus. So, well, to be short, we're just developing new sets of products and activities which are relevant, obviously, for the Muslim public. That's what we want to do. We want them to be relevant. And also we want to build these products and services in a way that any traveler will be able to meet the local Muslim community. And I think this sharing time with the Muslim community from different countries and exchanging experiences will be very valuable to travelers and both the locals, because they will feel happy, you know, to see that their heritage, be material or immaterial, is relevant for people from the other side of the world. So there are so many things we can develop in Spain, you know. For example, another set of activities we're elaborating has to do with sciences and technology in Al-Andalus. For example, astronomy. We build astrolabs and with the sky of a particular city. Now the local governments in some localities are reusing the sequía or the irrigation systems for the period of Al-Andalus because they're so efficient. So we're happy to recall all of this heritage and to share, right? And just to close the presentation, I mean, these two projects are ongoing. I will be happy to share probably in a few months when we have some results. But I think women are a driving force in this particular niche. First, because a lot of business women work in the tourism sector. I don't know why, but women, you know, we have this we have this hard-soft balance, you know, like we want the hard skills, but also the soft skills. We are people's people. We like to be with other people, and we like, I think we know how to make other people comfortable. So I think in the hospitality business, that's quite an essential principle. So we invited business people to join the mentoring program to develop their own Muslim-friendly activities. And I'm happy to say a lot of them are women, a lot of them are entrepreneurs, some of them are Muslims, some are not, but they come without prejudice. And that's also another positive thing, you know, about Muslim-friendly tourism, that the actors, the local actors, they don't have this prejudice, this barrier against Islam or against meeting Muslims. So I think that is another achievement of the program. Also, the focus is not only on developing an economic activity, but it goes beyond. They also are concerned about the social and the environmental impacts of their activities. So this is a plus. In the case of ladies, they're well aware of their impact. Also, this project will provide self-employment opportunities and access to economic development for ladies. Also, what we wanted to do is to give visibility to Andalusian women, because in history books, all of the caliphs are men, all of the, I don't know, war leaders are men, but where are the women? I mean, half of the population of Al-Andalus is missing from the history books. So what we are doing is we're sponsoring a series of research to bring these women alive back in our period to understand what was their life like in Al-Andalus period. So this is another strand of the project that I'm very, very happy about. And in the last place, women are decision makers. You know, when we talk about the tourists themselves when they travel, mainly the women make the decision about when to travel, how to travel, especially if it's a family. So I think the feminine element is very, very eloquent in the case of Muslim-friendly tourism. And I'm happy to say that we are, we feel very rewarded with these two projects, the Medina Network and the Muslim-friendly tourism mentoring, because I think in the future, the basis of this project is obviously equality. Women cannot be excluded. On the contrary, we are putting the focus on them as social agents, as economic agents, historical characters. So I think it's going to be rewarding for everybody. And I think my only conclusion would be, you know, be bold, go for it, be empowered. I mean, don't wait until nobody has to give it to you. You have to go for it. So, and I think they're very brave ladies in Muslim countries, and I'm sure they will go for it, and we will have a very bright young generation coming. So thank you all, and welcome to Spain whenever you want to visit.
Thank you very much, Doctora Bárbara. Yes, we will look for the new project that you are leading about women and tourism. Thank you very much. We have some questions to you also, as we made it to Sister Aisha. That is to highlight what you were presenting today. The first one is, what inspired you to launch this product, or let us say this service?
You mean the Halal Academy, or?
Yes, the Halal Academy. Or if you want to highlight the last one, for example, that you were mentioning.
Okay. This project in particular, well, this project responds to a logic need. There is a demand for tourism, for Muslim-friendly tourism, and Spain is the second destination in the world. The amount of Islamic heritage, material and non-material that we have documented, that we have lots of experts involved. I mean, it's time to share it beyond, you know, the academic, because it's only, you know, we are maybe, I don't know, 100 experts in Islamic history of Spain in the country. When we go to congresses, it's only academic people. But I think it's time to share this with the broader world. That's why we are creating this new product, which are, you know, like science and research tourism or holidays. Inside, you know, if you're researching even Arabi, you need to know where he lived, where he was born. You need to see the places that had an influence of him. You need to get information about other people who interacted with him. If you're studying architecture, yeah. I mean, but also, you know, we don't want to go to a place and get the guide discourse, which is probably very broad and mainstream. We want to get something specifically tailored for Muslims, because the way we need to understand history, nobody is giving it to us. You know, Islamic history in Spain has been hidden for many, many centuries. It wasn't even regarded as something Spanish. It is, many people consider the Islamic period of Spain as something foreign. But it is our own history. You know, these people, they didn't come from anywhere else. I mean, the first small group, yes, they came from Syria, they came from the Maghreb, but then 800 years of, you know, foreigners coming to Spain? No. I mean, there's been this misunderstanding, you know. So it's important to place this thing, to put these things in perspective. And also what I think is the other thing is we would like to do activities that enable to meet the local community. I think this is also an added value that's much demanded and necessary. And it has been challenging because up to now, the typical tourist product is, I offer you this, we do it for 2 hours, and then it's bye-bye. But we wanted to go a further step, you know. We wanted to be able to engage the communities, and it's not being easy, I have to say, because of course we all have our lives and things to do, but there are people who are open, you know, to meeting travelers and to learn and exchange experiences. We just need to create the environment for this to happen. So I'm happy because it's a very creative project and I have a great team involved in it. I'm sure it's going to work.
Inshallah, inshallah. So what were the challenges you had to overcome in the initial stages of starting your project? I think that this one is for ESCUELA Halal.
Well, I still face a lot of prejudice against Islam. In my case, I haven't faced a lot of rejection for being a woman, but I still feel there's a lot of rejection for being a Muslim or representing Islam. And especially, and it's very surprising. Sometimes you don't even expect where it comes from. But I think this is one of the main problems. And the fact that we want to run this project is also to eliminate part of the prejudice. I think we need to change the fact that Islam is considered something foreign or alien to Spain. I think we need to change the view and help them understand that this is part of our culture. So this is the way we combat prejudice. And I think it's you know, when you work with cultural things, it's easy to start breaking this barrier. But I think prejudice against Islam is the highest barrier we have in Europe.
Thank you. What is the most important thing you feel anyone needs to do to build a successful company or project, in the halal industry?
Well, I think it all begins with the idea. You have to believe in your idea. Mm-hmm. You have to be also objective and realistic about the economic side of the idea. You know, we don't. There's nothing wrong with finding economic opportunities in halal or elsewhere. I mean, we all have to make a living, and one of the roads to independence for women is economic empowerment. So there's nothing wrong for setting up businesses around halal. It's wonderful, I think. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. And I think the two most important things is the idea. It has to be your own. You know, you have to believe in it passionately. And then it's the feasibility. You have to be realistic that it's going to be economically feasible. Mm-hmm. So open eyes. Open heart, open eyes.
Yes. What were the most important learning experiences you would like to share with the audiences? Only one.
Sorry, I don't know. I cannot think of anyone now.
Okay.
Well, you know, as I said, when I have always felt very empowered I don't know if it's because of my education or because I never had any obvious limitations, you know, as in my choices in life. But I think I'm going to share you a little story. When I was very young at school, my maths teacher was a very nice African lady, a nun, Christian nun, Sor Celestina. And, you know, she was quite a reference for me because she was very, very powerful. She made me love maths. Can you believe it? So if she had this magic power, you know, of driving all these small girls, you know, and love maths, I thought this woman can make whatever she wants, you know. And she has been a role for me because you could feel this power, you know, and it's the power of conviction. So I think women roles, I mean, roles in your life, other women that inspire you are important.
Mm-hmm.
It helps, definitely.
So the last one, what advice you could give to aspiring leaders in the halal industry? You were mentioning it in the presentation and also on the question, but if you have any advice that you would like to share also.
Well, my advice is that, as Aisha mentioned, you really need to be well educated in all senses, not only the hard skills, also the soft skills. And then you need to get a sense of what are the economic, financial, and social aspects of your projects. There's a question here in the chat about financing the project. I'm going to explain about this because we really thought about it.
Yes, of course.
The Medina Network project, for example, what we want to do is to build build up the destination in the different Medinas, the different cities in Spain that were Andalusian Medinas. This the first thing we brainstormed about was the sustainability of the project. So all the Medinas who want, what we offer is we are going to sell your Medina as a Muslim-friendly tourism experience to the Muslim markets. You don't know the Muslim markets, we do. All you have to do is to create this ecosystem of Muslim-friendly products and services, and we will market it. But you have to pay a yearly quota to be in the, you know, in the shop window, to be there, to be part of the project. So the initial capital is a project we won. We applied for funds, you know, public funds, and we won a small amount. This is enough to start with the project, and then it's self-funded. Every year, the Medinas in the project will pay, and they will receive training, and we will do the promotion. So the sustainability of the project is very important. And I think there are also a lot of opportunities in business angels wanting to fund halal projects. So I think this is something really important. You have to look for it. So the initial capital and also your partners, you should, you know, get a good team, not your best friends. I mean, you have to be professional in this decision. To start with, you know, the people who are really going to love the project passionately like you do, and they're going to push forward. And know that many things can happen in the road. But if you fall, you rise again.
Thank you very much. I don't know if there is another question for Sister Bárbara here on the chat.
I don't want to take more time because okay. I believe we also still have some other speakers.
Yes, of course. Okay. Anyway, they can contact you.
Oh,
most
sure.
of us, we know you, so.
You have I leave my email here in the chat. You can
leave the email on the chat, yes, of course.
I'm very happy to, some of a sister was suggesting that we have a network or some kind of contact. Mm-hmm. I would be very happy, but it has to be something very specific, honestly. If it's not a structure, we will just, you know, be sending messages without any purpose. So if you want to do a focus group, a network, or with regular meetings and specific objectives, I'll be very glad to join. So whoever wants to be the leader can include me.
Thank you very much, Sister Bárbara. Now we will go to Singapore. Thank you.